The Department of Homeland Security has decided to release documents to the Department of Defense about a UFO program titled KONA BLUE. Let's dive in and see what this is all about, y'all. If you're new to the channel and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. I put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day. And please hit that like button, vetters. That really helps out the videos. So thank y'all so much for the support there. And of course, comment down below. What do you think of this program? Let's dive in. Some interesting stuff here, y'all. So, we'll get to the mind-flying UFOs here in a second. This is very interesting. So, here it is. Here's the letter. These are the documents that got released by AARO. Okay, that's the Department of Defense's office to study UFOs, right? So, the Department of Homeland Security agrees to provide the Department of Defense with documents and relevant information associated with KONA BLUE. KONA BLUE was a DHS Prospective Special Access Program, a PSAP, I think it's called, terminated on February 10th, 2012. So let's dive in and see what this is all about. First of all, real quick, as a little side note here, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program was first sponsored in the fiscal year 2008 Defense Supplemental Appropriation Act by Senators Reid and Inouye with a $10 million ad. Now, I bring that up because there's a lot of confusion sometimes with Lou Elizondo, and if you work for ATIP and if they had funding, and I don't know, according to this, they do. Right? This is from Ronald Burgess, the Junior Lieutenant General of the U.S., the Director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. This memo is dated December 1st, 2010. So I don't know. That's pretty interesting. I think that helps back up Lou in a lot of ways. So anyway, what is this KONA BLUE? I got this great little image here. Help sell it to you. It's just a beachside resort. KONA BLUE. Come to KONA BLUE. The waves are crashing and the UFOs are splashing. I don't know. Look, this is a Prospective Special Access Program. So basically the idea was there was a program called OSAP and ATIP underneath it. And they decided to try to create another sort of program under their umbrella called KONA BLUE. And this program was designed to study many things. We're going to dive into what it was designed to study and research. All right, that's what makes this program so wild. Very wild, to be honest with you. And just an interesting picture to put here, right? Like, who chose that? Why the name KONA BLUE, right? It's an interesting name. Why that name? USOs? Just saying. Project description. This project will investigate, identify, and analyze sensitive information, advanced materials, and technologies to increase the basic knowledge of potential emerging and or disruptive scientific and technical data. This project addresses basic, applied, and advanced research and technology demonstrations in order to identify and anticipate threats to the U.S. homeland. A unified approach will be used for data collection and analysis, advanced technology acquisition, applied technology theory demonstration, and consciousness studies. That's where it gets interesting. All right, so right here we can see what this was for, okay? So program description, key program objectives and milestones. The Advanced Technology Threat Program will consist of 7 operational centers. 1, Data Collection Center. Develop internet-based site for advanced aerospace vehicle reporting. Expand existing data warehouse. Deploy in-house investigators on select cases. Operate liaison center for cooperation with state, local, tribal police, and FBI. Number 2, Data Analysis Center. Data Analysis Center, Coordination Center, hub for all other centers. Maintain in-house technical, computational, and laboratory facilities capable of physics, chemistry, biology, and engineering analysis. Advanced Technology Center. Analyze recovered technology in collaboration with major aerospace and electronics companies. Set up protocols for obtaining access to materials newly acquired. Operate an assessment team consisting of the best scientists and engineers available to the government. Collect retirees' oral histories on recovered technology and present location. That's interesting right there, okay? We go to and have experimental centers, okay? That's also part of that, and experimental centers. All right, so experimental centers, sorry, that's number 4. Determine geographical locations within the U.S. where anomalous activity occurs on experimental centers. What? Determine geographical locations? Okay, that's interesting. On a regular basis. Subject at least 2 of the best locations to intense sensor and human observation study while monitoring activity at others. I don't know, that seems oddly worded. Consciousness Center. This is here we go. Expand on remote viewing and remote communication to communicate, retrieve data, and transport across dimensional space-time barrier. What? I'm sorry, what? Develop remote viewing countermeasures. What is that, like a Magneto helmet? What are we talking here? Study consciousness interactions with and control of technology. Control of technology. Consciousness interactions. Psychically flying UFOs, y'all. Medical Center. Study psychological and psychological. Wait, what? Study psychological and psychological effects of interaction with vehicles and anomalous phenomena. Okay, that's, I don't know, what? Okay. Education Center. Develop volunteer corps. Expenses to support. Expenses reimbursed. Don't worry. We got your tab at Motel 6. Cracker Barrel? It's on us. To support the collection efforts of the Data Collection Center, okay, continue to maintain the world's largest libraries on advanced aerospace vehicles and associated phenomena. All right, let's continue. Let's go to the Consciousness Center specifically and talk about this a little bit. All right, you know what? I'm going to increase this. I should have done that for the other ones. The Consciousness Center. The Consciousness Center manages the acquisition, training, and utilization of remote viewers and communicators. These unorthodox techniques may prove to be critical collection methods for supplementing efforts within the data collection, advanced technology, and especially the experimental and medical centers. Develop training and quality assessment program for consciousness studies. Conduct assessments both remotely and on site. That's kind of funny, remotely. You can remotely zoom in. Is that like you got Zoom in your head, right? That's kind of interesting. Do we need to be on site for this, or can we zoom in? You can remote view in if you want. Go ahead. You don't need to come in. Conduct assessments with both experts in field and newly trained personnel. Okay. And you can see right here, look, top secret, KONA Blue, right? Handle via special access channels only. It just kind of makes it seem, it's in red, stamped. It's official, y'all. John Greenwald from the Black Vault, he said how unusual these markings were and stuff. He had never seen something like that, really, I don't think, is what he said. Which, let's be real, that guy has seen probably the most FOIA documents ever. He's got the biggest database. And for him to say that is interesting. Just saying. That is interesting. As an initial study, focus capabilities on all known hotspots, locations with repeated frequent reports of activity. Okay, that sounds fair. Extend remote communication programs to communicate and retrieve data across dimensional space-time barrier. Oh, okay. No problem. We'll take care of that after lunch. I like how it's just a bullet point amongst, we're also going to extend remote communication programs to communicate and retrieve data across dimensional space-time barriers. So anyway, all right, we're going to break for lunch now. Imagine giving that presentation. I mean, it's interesting. But I guess if it's, it is this real thing, you do just put it down in a spreadsheet, in a document. Like, that's how it goes. So, I don't know, just interesting. Develop remote viewing and remote communication countermeasures. Okay, we talked about that. Study consciousness interactions with and control of technology. Flying UFOs. Conduct experiments to determine baseline parameters for physical transport across dimensional space-time barrier, as opposed to communication and data transfer only. That's interesting. So we're talking about teleportation, y'all. Instant teleportation, right? That's interesting. Teleportation. That's just interesting, right? And when we talk about quantum computing and the quantum level and how, that's just how things can exist simultaneously across distances and travel back and forth. Like, I'm just saying, there is some interesting stuff at the quantum level. And as crazy as this is, and I know I'm kind of making jokes, I mean, there's a reality to this, and it's interesting. I got to admit. And so this program, clearly they wanted to get this program going to study this stuff, to look into this stuff, to create these centers and start building an environment that this is something to do. And I can understand that. I don't honestly see the problem with this and us giving money to this. I really don't. Deliverables. Experimental results and assessment reports will be produced on each separate activity. Results and reports will be maintained separate from other data reports. So, just saying, all very interesting, y'all. Right? Curious to read the comments on this. KONA Blue. Again, this was a Prospective Special Access Program in the late 2000s that this was going to be started. And it never got off the ground, and they're releasing it. And the reason is because Arrow has claimed, Sean Kirkpatrick has claimed, people have named KONA Blue as a current program that is reverse engineering alien technology and recovering crashed UFOs, right? They're saying it's a current program, or they worked in that program, or something along those lines, or they saw documents or something, but the KONA Blue has been brought up many times. So Arrow decided to get these documents released to show people it was nothing. It was a prospective access program. But let's be real. And the termination letter that says it got terminated. But who's to say? Wouldn't you leave that trail behind if you really had this program going secretly? You would leave the trail that it didn't happen. But why would you leave the trail that it was even discussed? Right? You would erase even the prospective stuff, the slides and stuff. Like, why would you want that around? So, I don't know. It's interesting. What other programs are out there that we don't know about or that were proposed? Like KONA Blue, right? There's probably many more. And is there a KONA Blue currently operating right now that was proposed and was accepted? Right? KONA Red. Just saying. That's quite possible. There, and that's what people say, that there are current programs running right now, right? What are they called? Very interesting. So, I don't know. Why did this one not get funding? And what's interesting is that they just made this public to get the funding. Like, they went through the proper channels, got the funding. Wouldn't the other programs have to do the same thing? Wouldn't there be evidence of that? I don't know. Just interesting. I don't know. Just find it very interesting. But look, there is going to be more whistleblowers coming out this year who worked supposedly on some of these programs, but I know some of these stories are older. So that might not help the cause of current programs. That's the problem. We need people in current programs. Because all I'm hearing behind the scenes is whistleblowers coming out, but from the past. Their stories have to do with older things, older stories, even back into the 90s, you know? So, I don't know. Just interesting. I love when this stuff comes out, though. We get to look at it. We get to see where the mindset is, see what they were thinking to create something like this, see what they thought was capable or we are dealing with currently, right? Right? You would kind of set up this program to study this stuff because you believe it to be happening, right? Which is interesting. So, I don't know, right? Why would you create a program to study stuff that you don't think is happening? Then what would you study? Nothing. You'd get the money and then it'd all get blown and you'd look like an idiot. So clearly you're proposing this because you've seen evidence of it happening or you know it's currently happening and you need to do something about it. So is that what happened here? And why did it get denied? I don't know. Very interesting. Just saying. Yeah, there's a lot here to discuss. So look, I'll put a link in the description. You can go check it out for yourself. There's a lot more in there to look at and to discuss, over 50 pages. I'm sure people are going to be talking about that for the next few days. Understandably so, right? So anyway, all right, guys, we'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.